Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with a brand new video. Yes, that's right, it's update time. DVD slash Blu-ray. So of course, this is going to be part 1, the DVDs, and then I will return with a video with part 2, and that will be the Blu-rays. Yeah, this is everything that I've got over the past month, just over a month, since my last update. I've seen a few of these. Lots I haven't watched yet, because I receive DVDs in mass quantities, so it's hard to watch them all, but I have watched a few of these, so I will talk about a few of them. But anyways, I got about, I think there's roughly 60 movies here. Yeah, maybe even more, maybe 70, I don't know. So let's get right into this. Alrighty, first up, and I'm going to start with the ones that I've watched too, so. A film from 2007 I watched called Hack. This is starring Danica McKellar. She's Winnie from The Wonder Years, right up there. Fucking, that was so awesome to see her in a horror film. This is basically a slasher film about. She plays she's like a biology major, stuff like that. But anyways, there's like a sign up to go to this remote island and do these studies on this island and stuff. So a bunch of people sign up. They go to this remote island where there's a couple that live there, and they're up to no good. What the people don't know is that they're going to be starring in their new film. So they're making this it's kind of like a homage horror film. You know, they're filming as they're killing people, and it's, you know, that's the whole setup to the film and stuff. It's not bad. I mean, there was some pretty cool homages in it and stuff, and a lot of horror film talk and references and stuff. You know, and with of course some plots, twists and turns and shit like that. But you know, it was okay. It was all right. Yeah, it was okay for a slasher film. It was just cool to see Winnie in a film. She's still really hot. Next up is Bigfoot: The Lost Coast Tapes. This is like I guess a documentary style found footage film about this newscaster guy that wants to disprove this guy's claim that he's bagged a Bigfoot and stuff. So they go out to this remote area where, you know, basically he's such a skeptic that he really has to fucking disprove this shit because he had some shit go wrong in his career. And yeah, the problem with this film is that you don't really get to see much. I had a lot of problems with this one. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest, but yeah. It wasn't the worst thing in the world I've seen, but it's just, the setup has been done so fucking many times. It's so goddamn old. Yeah. Next up is an anthology film called Sanitarium. This was sent to me by Jay, Absolute Sublime One. This is an anthology film starring Malcolm McDowell. It's got Lou Diamond Phillips in it. We got Robert Englund and stuff. 3 tales based all in this hospital. The wraparound story is Malcolm McDowell. He's like a doctor. You know, he's kind of introducing the stories and stuff. So he's not really in a whole lot. Yeah, I'm not really going to get into the 3 shorts, but wow, this is really fucking boring. The whole 3 shorts were terrible. It was really, really bad. I can't recommend this one bit. I was so fucking bored with this. Like, I was having a hard time staying awake. In fact, I actually did fall asleep in the 3rd one with about 10 minutes left in the short, but I ended up finishing it, but it was not good. This was really boring. Next up is a film that's been recommended to me so many times over the last, you know, couple of years I've been on YouTube, and I finally got around to picking it up, and because I finally found it for a good price, and that's Skin Deep. This is one of those Fangoria presents Gore Zone video line or whatever they had a few years back. This is an older film from 2003. Basically about a family that gets killed off, and they keep the daughter alive. This weird ass fucking family. This mom like lives off this blood, and they've got this fucking crazy dude here, and then you got Warwick Davis, whose character is named Plates, and he throws plates at people and kills them. It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the cannibalism. It's really, I don't know, it kind of more extreme, but you know, the effects and shit were really cool in this film. It was actually quite a fun time. I would recommend this. It starts out like super low budget and kind of really bad, you know, but then when it gets going, it's actually pretty enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with this, but yeah, Skin Deep, I recommend this one. Very cool. Next up, I finally got around to getting this film. Found it for, I think, a $5 or something like that. So, and that is Inbred. I actually really kind of enjoyed this. It was decent throughout the film. It wasn't like the best movie in the world, but I have to say the ending I loved. I loved the ending of the film. I thought it was probably the best part of the movie, but overall, it takes a little while to get going. I think it takes about 45, 50 minutes to get going and shit. And, once it starts, it's not so bad, but, it's not the best thing in the world. I would loosely recommend this if you like these backwoods kind of hillbilly fucking weird family type films. It was pretty cool. The ending made me laugh pretty hard, so that's good. Next up is another film that was sent to me by Absolute Sublime One, and that is Mute Witness. Now, this is a movie I've always wanted to check out. I believe this came out in the mid-90s or the early 90s or something. I want to see, maybe 93 or something, 94. It's basically about this girl. She's like an effects artist. She's working in Russia. She's an American working in Russia on these films and stuff. And one day she witnesses... She's working on a horror film, and one day she witnesses like a real murder, which she believes to be a real murder and stuff. And the guys that committed the murder, trying to get at her and shit. It's kind of it's a horror thriller type snuff film. I actually really enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the lead did a really good job for being mute. Like I don't know how she was decent in the role. I don't know, but I recommend it. Mute Witness was pretty good. Next up is another film I can mark off my band or my official Video Nasties list. And that is Axe. I think I'm up to 30 of the 39 banned films now. I'm missing about 9. And a couple, though, some of those ones aren't even that hard to find. I just haven't gotten around to picking them up. But Axe, not a bad film. I don't know. It's not that great, but it's not horrible either. Some of these Video Nasties are whatever, but basically about these guys that go on a rampage and they seek refuge in this fucking house out in the woods and stuff like that. But what they don't know is the girl living there is pretty crazy. She takes care of her grandpa and does crazy shit to him, and then she ends up kind of, fucking up these guys and stuff. But it's not bad. Early 70s, I think 73 or 74 it came out in. It's okay. Next up is a Subrosa Studios release called The Undertow. Now, I talked about this on my podcast last week. Going into this film, I thought this was going to be a really kind of silly, goofy slasher film, but it actually was kind of serious, and I thought the end kicked ass in this. It was a lot darker than I anticipated and stuff. Basically about this group of friends that are on this canoe trip and stuff, and they're warned by, the town sheriff or whatever not to go there and stuff, and the town mayor releases his crazy-ass demonic son to go and fucking take out these foreigners or whatever. It's basically the premise of the film, and it actually wasn't that bad, for low-budget, kind of, shot digital film. It wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed it. Next up is a documentary that I also talked about on the podcast called Driving Madness. I believe this came out originally in 1987. It's kind of like a half documentary. It's got, interviews with Romero and Tom Savini, Lena Quigley, John Russo, Russell Strander. Like, it's got a whole pile of really cool stuff mixed in with a lot of trailers. And basically what the premises of this is they're talking about drive-ins and stuff. Very cool stuff, though. I enjoyed the interviews. I enjoyed watching the trailers. Some of the films I'd never seen before. I'd never even seen some of those older trailers. So it was kind of, interviews, and they would start talking about a movie, then it would cut into a trailer. It was actually pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with this. Something you could just throw on and just have a couple drinks and just kind of watch. You don't have to take it serious or nothing, but very cool stuff. Next up is Dustin Mills' Heart Attack. I love this film. This came out in 2013, also known as Night of the Tentacles. This is the alternate title for the film. Basically about a guy that's, he's an artist and he's got a heart issue. He gets proposed with this deal or he kind of makes a deal with the devil for a new heart and stuff. But the thing is that his new heart feeds on people, and he's got to feed the beast to keep himself alive at this point after he takes the deal and shit. Fucking cool film, man. I really, really enjoyed this one. This actually is quite a long movie, though, I gotta say. But very enjoyable. I really highly recommend this. Dustin Mills. Next up is a film called Elevator. This was also sent to me by Jay, Absolute Sublime One. This is one of those films that takes place all in one setting. It's all in a fucking elevator, of course. about these people that are going to this dinner for this dude's retirement or whatever, and all this crazy shit happens. Can't really say too much about it, but, you know, it wasn't bad. The ending was kind of predictable. I kind of figured something like that was going to happen and stuff, but, you know, it wasn't really the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse kind of films like that. Next up is a film from Phase 4 Films called Butcher Boys. This is kind of like the equivalent of, like, when I was watching this film, I'm thinking Texas Chainsaw Massacre also, and then I look on it, it says from the creator of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm thinking probably the remake, I don't know. But you know, it was okay. It's about these people that get all mixed up with these dudes and shit like that, and of course they start getting picked off one by one in like this warehouse, and they're taking them hostage and torturing them and shit like that, and I don't know, man. It was okay. The setup was so overly done. I mean, it's been done a million times. I didn't really care for it that much, to be honest, but... next up is Hard Rock Zombies. I believe this is from 1985, I believe this movie originally came out in. Fuck. About this band that gets killed off by this crazy-ass family and shit like that because the lead singer has a crush on one of the daughters, and anyway, she ends up bringing them back through some fucking voodoo type shit or whatever. And this movie is ridiculous, man. It's so much fucking fun. The zombies, the way the band walks in this film is absolutely hilarious. I know the band was like a real band. I think the music that's in the film is actually their own. Very, very cheesy. Everything about this film is cheesy. The music, the effects, the acting, the fucking everything, the way it's shot, the story. It's funny, man. Like the head of the family is like Hitler. It's fucking ridiculous. I loved it, man. I absolutely love that movie. Hard Rock Zombies. I highly recommend it. Next up is a film called Do Not Disturb. This is actually starring Stephen Jeffries, of course, from Fright Night. He plays like this Hollywood screenwriter, and I think he's kind of in a funk or whatever, and he takes it upon himself to kind of create like a very horrific story by, you know, kind of acting out these fantasies and shit like that in this hotel room. His agent is played by what the fuck's it? Tiffany Shepis. She looks really good in this film. You know, actually, I heard mixed reviews about this one. I actually didn't mind this film. It's kind of slow and shit, but I thought Stephen Jeffries did a pretty good job in this film. You know, it's good to see him returning to, you know, normal films, I guess, and not doing gay porn. But no, I thought he did a pretty good job in this movie, actually, to be honest. It wasn't bad. Next up is just another copy that was sent to me by Andrew Ballina. This is the... oh, what the fuck is this, man? Oh, fuck, I always forget the name of this fucking company. Umbrella. Jesus. This is like my very first Umbrella release. The Umbrella release of Maniac. Very awesome stuff. Once again, Andrew, if you're watching this, thank you for sending me this. I love it. And I will have a collection overview of my Maniac stuff soon. Next up is a killer Scarecrow film from Subrosa Studios called Gutpile. This one came out in the late 90s, like 97, I believe. And it is what it is. You know, it's about this hunter that fucking kills this other dude, and his soul gets, you know, put into this Scarecrow somehow, and of course a year later they're back out hunting, and they fucking start getting picked off one by one by this killer Scarecrow. Actually, I had a lot of fun with this. Some pretty decent effects in it. You know, some of the dialogue's really funny. I don't know. I had a fun time with it. It is what it is, right? Next up is another Subrosa Studios film. I actually reviewed this on Body Bags. It's called Peter Rottentail. Directed by the Polonium brothers. About a killer bunny, basically. If you want more about on this one, check out my review I did 2 or 3 weeks ago on Body Bags. So, but yeah, it was a fun film. I had a lot of fun with it. Cheesy shit, so. Of course, next ones I have not gotten around to see, so I'll just be showing off these ones. First up is a Snaps Films release of Stacey. Now, this is a film that I've wanted for a long time. Found it for a really, really good price. I think I paid about $5 for it, so, you know, if you're going to find a Snaps film for that cheap, I'm definitely going to pick it up. So, but I heard this movie's batshit crazy. Really looking forward to checking it out. Next up is a film called Blood Reaper, and I only picked this up because it had blood in the title, and it looks, you know, it looks like a low-budget slasher film, but, you know, me and my slasher films and movies with blood in the title, gotta grab them, so, I don't know, that one looks okay. Next up is a film I don't really know anything about, but the title caught my attention. It's called the Severed Head Network compilation DVD. I think this is like a collection of shorts, and it says the best of volumes 1 and 2, so these are the best of. Released by Subrosa Studios. I got a shit ton of Subrosa stuff in here. This one looks pretty cool. It's got, you know, looks like it has a bunch of shorts and that are pretty demonic shit. So, looking forward to checking that shit out. Next up is a film called Goth. I've been after this one for a while. I gotta change this case. It's got this crazy ass stickers on shit on it. Yeah, it says one of Japan's must-see horror films. I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about this one, but I remember reading about this one a while back, I think a couple years back, and it caught my attention, and I found it for like dirt cheap, so gonna check out that one soon. Another film that was sent to me by Jay is Crimson. Don't really know a lot about this one, but it's about an artist that goes fucking nuts. I don't really know, but be checking this one out soon. The next couple films, of course, I am so into really bad shark films, kind of like my boy Tattoo Doorman. And every time I come across these for super cheap, I always pick them up. But Jersey Shore Shark Attack. It's probably so fucking bad, but I have to pick these up. Next up is very complimentary to the last one, and that's Malibu Shark Attack. Probably equally as bad, but you know how it is. And Shark Swarm. So, yeah, there's a bunch of new ones that I really want to get. I laughed so hard. Tat was showing some shark films off, and he showed one called Jurassic Shark, and I almost died laughing. It was pretty funny. This one right here actually has Daryl Hannah and John Schneider in it, which is interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is a sealed copy of Insaniac. Now, I actually ordered this film, and they ended up sending me 2 copies of this for some weird reason. I'm not really too sure why, but it was 2 different versions. This version is released by, I don't know, TerrorVision? I don't know. But they sent me the Subrosa one is the one I ordered. Also, so I have 2 copies of this, different covers though, but Insaniac, don't know much about it. Another film that Jay sent me, Come and Get Me. I don't know, this one looks actually pretty cool. By this studio called Bloody Earth Films. Looks like very low budget stuff. Bunch of official selections and shit on there, so. Okay, and I've heard lots of people talk about this one, but I've never seen it. And I do like Wild Eye releases, and I've been very curious about this, because I've heard mixed reviews, and I've heard some people say it's really good, and some people didn't like it, but you know, I can see why people wouldn't like this, though. Night of the Living Dead Reanimated. I think they take scenes, and it's all done by different animations and stuff, or different ways from Night of the Living Dead. But I've been very curious on this. I'm a big fan of the original film, so you know that just kind of piqued my interest. Next up is a film called Subterranean. Now, I originally thought this movie was going to be a slasher film. It doesn't look like it is by reading the synopsis on the back, but I don't know. I bet you the cover's better than the film there. Next up is a film I didn't really want to get, but I wanted to get the second one because it's a Killer Crow film, or Killer Scarecrow film, and that is The Messengers. I've actually never seen this movie. I think I've heard lots of mixed opinions on this one, but it's another PG-13 type ghost house film. Yeah, I don't know. Starring Kirsten Stewart. But yeah, the reason why I got that one is because I am a completist, and I wanted to get this one. I believe this is the prequel to the Messengers. And it's Messengers to the Scarecrow. So it's a Killer Scarecrow film, which I fucking love Scarecrow films so much. So I thought I'd give that one a shot. Next up is another film Jay sent me, is Mother's Boys. Yeah, I've always been curious about this one too, actually. Kind of like a horror thriller, Fatal Attraction type stuff, I think. Bleeding Through, another film Jay sent me. This one looked pretty interesting. Independent entertainment. I know this one has Ruby LaRocca in it, which is pretty cool. You know, there's going to be definitely titties in this film, that's for sure. So that one does look pretty interesting. Another film, Abbreviation. This one actually looks pretty damn cool too. Released by Image. Yeah, I don't know. Asian, or maybe is it Asian? No, I don't think actually it is. When a Stranger Calls remake, which is a really bad film, and it's another PG-13 film. I don't know what is with the PG-13 horror films lately, but yeah, not really a big fan of that one. The Roommate, another film Jay sent me. Don't know much about it. Looks like single white female type stuff. And Sleep Dealer. I know I showed these off in an unboxing, so if you didn't see that, you're seeing them now for the first time. And if you saw that unboxing, you're seeing them for a second time. Awesome. Alright, so we've got a bunch more here to get into. Another film here called Abducted. Like the Green Case, don't know much about it. From Chemical Burn. I had to pick this one up because Anna Scream Queen Killer just sounded funny, man, about this girl that's on these auditions and, I don't know, starts killing off people. I don't know, Chemical Burn, you know, low budget shit. This one I was very interested in, documenting the Gray Man. Got to check this one out soon. Released by Camp Motion Pictures. Love Camp Motion Pictures, so. Next up is God of Vampires. Now this one always caught my attention before. I always wanted to pick up. Released by Midnight Releasings, which is awesome because I like their releasing their movies. Yeah, it's gonna be low budget, probably decent, I guess. I don't know. Region 2 release of Storage 24. Don't know much about this one, but I'm assuming it all takes place in one time or one area. Another one that Jay sent me, Silent Madness in 3D. This movie actually is in 3D. I popped it in, and I just wanted to see if it was in 2 or 3D, but I do have 3D glasses around here, so I'll check this out sometime, but yeah. It's a fucking movie that needs an official release, man. Next up is a movie called Bleed White. I picked this one up because it just looked interesting. It's kind of like a zombie film. Someone quotes on the back, Pulp Fiction meets Zombieland, so I don't know what the fuck that means, but it does look kind of interesting, actually. Next up is the SS Hellpack 2. This is like the light box version of it with SS Hellcamp, Gestapo's Last Orgy, and Red Knights of the Gestapo. I picked this up for the Gestapo's Last Orgy, which is another video nasty. These are always fun. SS Hellcamp is fucking ridiculous. Such a ridiculous movie. Next bunch of films here from Subrosa Studios. This one movie's called Scared. You know, I love my Subrosa films releases, so, and they were really, really cheap. I think $4 or $5 a piece, or not even. I think $3 or $4 a piece or whatever. Scream Dream, still sealed up. Holla If You Hear Me Kill You. I had to grab this just because the fucking title's so awesome, but I don't know, Subrosa goodness right there. Tim Ritter film called Dirty Cop, No Donuts. Yeah, I love my Tim Ritter films, so I had to pick that one up. Here's the other copy of Insaniac. This is the Subrosa edition of it. Of course, it has a different cover on there, so looking forward to checking this film out. Next up is Urban Flesh, banned in 3 different countries. Again, really cheap. Love my Subrosa Studios. This one is a double feature with Swimsuit Sensations and Knockout Workout. I believe the Knockout Workout actually is like a workout video, and the first one is about, I think it's Scream Queens just being interviewed and shit like that. I don't know. But, super fucking cheap. Next up is Zombie Jamboree. This is the 25th anniversary Night of Living Dead convention. So this would have been in, what, 1993 or whatever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. I love those type of films. And this one called Red File 666-095 Strawberry Estates from Subrosa. And that one actually does look really fucking cool. And last up here, I got a few non-horror things that'll show off here. First off, the 4 Cult Movie Marathon Volume 1. Featuring Invasion of the B-Girls, The Devil's 8, Unholy Rollers, and Vicious Lips. Now, some of these are just fucking awesome. Unholy Rollers is actually pretty fun. Good shit right there, so. Next up is the 4 Movie Marathon Volume 2, featuring Angels from Hell, Chatterbox, Naked Cage, and Savage Island. I watched Savage Island, and it's actually like 2 movies edited together. It's fucking ridiculously bad. There's like characters playing, same people playing different characters and shit. Just with new footage of Linda Blair in the beginning and stuff. It's really not that great. Next up, a double feature, Django films. A Man Called Django and Saranta's Showdown in the West. I love my Django films. These are fucking really, really fun spaghetti westerns. And next up is Django Kills Silently and Django Cut Price. Django's Cut Price Corpses. I haven't checked these ones out yet, but just more awesome Django films. And last up, I will show off this, and I picked up the complete series of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Totally unrelated to horror, but Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, and of course Season 6. And these were $9.99 a piece on Amazon.ca Prime, so I just grabbed all these because I've been wanting to get the series forever. I love this show, and I hate watching TV, so I need to own these. But yeah, so Fresh Prince, and I usually don't pick up that much non-horror stuff, but anyways, guys, that is going to be the DVD haul. Stay tuned for part 2. The Blu-rays got lots of really, really cool Blu-rays to show off. And I think I've watched pretty much every single one of them that I have in there. So, anyways, guys, hope to see you in part 2. Move616 signing off here. Peace out.